People are saying I have no audio at all. Yeah, no, sorry. I was totally monologuing about setting up. And the 48 volt power feed to the microphones was not on. So there's that. Audio is back and it's gonna be trouble. Hey, audio's back. We got some, what do you call them? Birds. Out there. Yep. Hello, everyone. Oh, yeah, I forgot I turned my render distance way down for doing a replay mod export of a... What do you call it? A replay mod export of a children's card game. Okay, so this part here also needs to be fixed because it's kind of awkward here. Yeah, I don't even know like how to deal with some parts of this being weird. Of course, oh, now the sun's setting in the sky. Teletubbies say goodbye. Of course. Silly electronics always need electricity. I know, right? Let's go to sleep. Not quite. Almost stuck the landing. I was trying to open the hatch and fly down it. That did... to mixed results. Oh, that's good. We know where the leaf eater is now, just in case. And we got some extra totems here, should the need arise. We got some extra chops here, should the need arise. Good morning, Mini Cheese Mouse. Welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this is a stream that's viewer supported. We are currently 20 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Mijme Throttling says, I had a pretty bad day. I have a test that I have no way to pass, and failing it alone will revoke my graduation from school. I would seriously try to email your dean or department head. If there's any sort of extenuating circumstances around like family stuff or a pandemic or something like that contributed to your grades at this point, you might be able to get something that'll make it not a complete fail. I don't know exactly what that accommodation might be, but when I first got sick, I was in college, and I have a chronic digestive problem that nowadays the symptoms aren't as bad, but I was basically like on bed rest for months, and all of the instructors were like mad at me for not contacting them. They were like, we thought you just stopped coming to class. I'm like, well, I did. Literally, I just stopped coming to class. I did not email you. And they're like, no, you can't do that. We can help you if you let us know you need help. And I'm like, I didn't think I needed help. I thought I just couldn't get out of bed for months at a time. I don't see how me being bad at being able to move or think makes it obvious to me that I should email you. I feel like being unable to move or think makes it obvious that I can't move or think. Like, so somebody had to tell me to email them. So I'm telling you to email them because maybe there's something here you can do. Anyway, Lone Courier tips 5 and says, howdy, Joe. Howdy, Lone Courier. Thank you very much for our first tip of the stream. And it looks like our second is following quick upon Quirky tips 20 and says, thanks for being in the background while I set up a Windows Linux dual boot. Woo! Good for you, Quirky. I really do miss the days of messing around with Linux. I'm assuming because you're dual booting it, it's not a server setup, because you wouldn't want to dual boot a server. I still use Linux all the time for professional stuff on servers, but like now that my desktop computer is like a tool that I can't risk breaking, I don't get to mess around with distros and stuff for like the Linux on the desktop anymore. Corky says, no, it's a workstation. I need Windows because we live in a Windows world. I don't think my next desktop is going to have Windows on it. Like, right now, I can't make that sort of jump on the current computer because I need the current computer. Like, this current computer has Windows 10 on it set up in such a way that I can do all my HermitCraft stuff. But the next computer, which I can take all the time in the world to set up because I've already got this one running. My plan is to buy my next desktop while this one's still operating, so I can figure out how to get it fully running what I need to here. Yindev says, do you have a system for keeping everything Linux updated without the updates conflicting with each other? Well, most of the professional systems that I run are Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and it's got something, used to be called Yum, now it's called DNF, but basically it's a tool that pulls stuff from the Red Hat repos. If you're installing your own packages from elsewhere, you might run into conflicts, but for the most part, if you're installing the Red Hat version of MariaDB, the Red Hat version of Apache, the Red Hat version of PHP, etc., you know, you're not going to have too many problems. But desktop systems are different because people need like a lot more personal and individual tools. So I am not using WSL right now. If my employer forced me to use it, I would, but I don't have an employer right now. I think it's a neat idea for certain corporate environments, but from a personal standpoint, I would rather just run Linux in that case. Like, so, for example, like a lot of the times what we would do in places where we were developing for Linux servers, we would do our development by connecting to dev servers that were also running the exact same version of Linux. Because, like, it's one of those things where at the point where you've got your Linux desktop, or at the point where you've got your desktop running a different version of Linux anyway, you're going to possibly have other weird problems that you're not going to pick up. It's like, oh, well, what if we just have a server that's spec'd comparably to the ones we're deploying on that's running the same operating system as the ones we're deploying on? You know, we can kind of narrow some things down. Somebody says you're very quiet. Well, that's because I'm hunting wabbits. But yeah, for me, like, at that point, so we were basically all just running, like, Mac laptops, and then, some people had IDEs that, you know, could automatically, like, connect to the dev server, and they would, you know, when they modified files, it would automatically update it. I personally prefer to just SSH in and use Vim for everything. That's just me. I know I'm a weirdo. But like I'm used to being in situations with like at previous jobs I've had, they've needed me to, like, make changes on the fly or test things when I wasn't necessarily able to access my main development machine. And so if you have the ability to SSH in and test code, then somebody else can deploy it or whatever if needed, like, from any machine. Like, because almost any machine has SSH on it these days, you know? Now, security practices have also changed a lot in the last 15 years to where you can't, you know, because people are using keys, key-based authentication, you can't just log in from a random machine. But, you know, if I'm out there in the world and somebody's like, Joe, you need to SSH into this machine real quick and fix this, it's like, okay, well, you need to enable password-based authentication temporarily so I can get in there, because I'm going to have to borrow a laptop to do it. Praxis says, Joe, I recently got laid off from my tech job. The writing was on the wall, and I was prepared, but today I'm doing the final technical challenge for a really respected firm in my subfield. It's nice listening to shop talk again. Well, good luck with the, with your, what do you call it, technical challenge. I'm assuming from context here, for those of y'all who don't know, sometimes in the tech world, companies will ask you to kind of try out, which I have mixed feelings about. You know, I understand that's, like, you want to make sure people actually have the skills that they claim they have. But, you know, and, like, in the acting world, like, you would try out for an acting job. But some of these, I think one of the big differences is, like, with an acting job, you go in there and you might sit in a room looking over your script for 6 hours waiting for them to call your name. But and then you do a few minutes of actual performing. You do a lot of preparation, then a little bit of actual performance. But with these take-home assignments, it's kind of like it can fill the time you have. I don't know. Because, like, as somebody who, like, is a single parent with a kid, like, take-home stuff on top of your existing work can be a bit of a challenge. Craig Sorota says, good luck to whoever wrote that in the other chat. Yep. Welcome, Mr. Hard Luck. I don't know where my area is with the bed. Oh, here's a different bed. Let's just use this bed. Found one. Okay. We've only got 12 snow left. That doesn't seem like much, given the scale of the overarching project here. Praxis says the terraforming is looking great, Joe. Thanks, Praxis. It's definitely a work in progress. But I don't feel like it's not working. So that's nice. Wish I knew exactly where all the mobs were coming from so I could light that up better, but whatever. Okay. So we need to go make more snow, and then while we do that, I can do things like pay my gas bill and handle my correspondence. Because part of these Friday morning streams is about trying to get stuff done without wandering off. So I've got my laptop here. Oh, we do have a little bit of snow left. Okay, cool. So, because I figure what we can do is I can put the roll of tape down on the snow machine here. And then handle correspondence and reviewing emails and paying bills and stuff for a little bit. Okay. I don't think the gas bill should be very high for last month because I don't think we used the heat at all in the last 30 days. Ooh, wait, that's a shulker box. Is it full of snow? What? Look at that! Okay, awesome. Never mind, we don't have to go do our boring stuff right away. We can hang out longer placing snow. I almost feel like having tough here would maybe look good, but how are we gonna make this stuff join up? Well, that's a concern for later. Did I forget to expand? Lone Courier, you're right. You're right. We got $25 in tips, and I forgot to do the expansion. Quirky. I apologize. And Lone Courier. So here we go. Please direct your attention to slot 9 in the hotbar, so I can say, howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee-dee. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. This is the coffee stream. We're still waking up. Still waking up. Thank you. That reminds me, that puts us 15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I want to say I'm doing my best here, but, like, clearly I'm not. I'm waking up here. Waking up and doing your best are not the same. And I need to acknowledge and make peace with that. So... Shifty Pumpkin says, I thoroughly hate tech tests. My best interviews were with experienced devs and managers who just talked about what I had done in the past, what they want to accomplish, how I would approach various problems and issues. I don't do tests well, even though I've been a software professional for 25 years. Yeah, I don't always, like, I don't know. I've personally, when I've hired developers, I've never believed in doing those tests. I'm like, and the argument that I always made to our bosses, I was like, look, y'all don't understand how to tell if this person did this test right or not. I could, but for one thing, I don't want to grade it. For another thing, we're running a small company in Nashville, and you might not think we're competing with Amazon and Google, but we are for certain types of tech talent. And the thing about Amazon and Google is they hire people with these obnoxious test systems. Anybody who wants to put up with that stuff can go get paid more there. We're going to do a better job of we need to be recruiting the candidates that the Amazon and Google system fails, right? Because we're not going to be able to compete with them on pay, right? If we're not competing with Google and Amazon on pay, we need to compete with them on something else. And one of them is not doing stupid tests. And I basically, and I would say one of the reasons that I work here is because I hate stupid tests like that. I could maybe do them, but that doesn't mean I want to. And I feel like they are a little bit... I don't know. I just personally don't like them, And so, if I wanted to work at Google, yeah, I'd have to learn how to deal with that. But I don't want to work at Google. I want to work for me. And basically, if I'm the, highest ranked technical person in the company that I'm working at, then I'm gonna try and use what leverage I can to make sure that this is a place I want to work at and that other people would want to work at. But yeah, I know that, like I said, if there was a certain job that I had to do something like that for, I would do it. But... And if I was working for, like, if John Carmack hired me to help him recruit people for VR, for his VR development stuff, right? And he's like, Joe, I designed this test to determine whether or not programmers understand GPU shaders well enough to work with me on this project. I know you don't understand GPU shaders well enough to do that, but I'm hiring you to be my technical recruiter. And this is a scenario where John Carmack does not work for Facebook anymore. But John Carmack is so valuable as a programmer, he doesn't have time to necessarily do his own recruiting, right? So he might hire somebody who understands technology, but not well enough to actually be a wasted. You don't want to waste somebody who's good at GPU programming as a full-time recruiter at your company, you know? If he's like, here's how you evaluate if these candidates are worth bringing to me or not. Have them do this test. Here's a rubric. You know, you understand this enough to figure it out. Good luck. I at that point, I wouldn't have a problem implementing that test because I would be helping somebody find a job with one of the greatest minds of like the modern era in terms of video processing and three-dimensional programming and stuff like that. But like, if you're a small company in Nashville and like, it doesn't matter how cool what you do is, there's no prestige to being a developer here. Like, there would be prestige to working for YouTube or Google or John Carmack, right? Like, the threshold of what you're willing to put up with to, you know, get a degree from Harvard Law should probably be different from what you're willing to put up with to get a degree from the University of Tennessee. And I know lawyers who went to the University of Tennessee, and it's not terrible, but like, trying to pretend that you're something you're not is going to turn candidates away. Trying to pretend like, oh, this is a prestigious opportunity, when no, it's a job. You need a job, you want to live in our city. Great, come work here. But like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, we're kind of the Google of Nashville. Like, no, we're not. So, sorry if I'm rambling about this for a little while. And I'm not trying to discourage the person who was actually applying for a job and taking one of these tests today. I'm just trying to like kind of explain like, not every opportunity is worth doing this, and I hope that your opportunity is one of them that is worthwhile. Like, it does have something cool going for it. Morning Ecliptics. I am doing well. Welcome to the ground. We got beds somewhere. Empty, 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 empty. Praxis says, I'm the one who brought it up. There's very little you can say about the methodologies of tech hiring that would hurt my feelings. Late-stage capitalism is going to do what it does. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, is this a shulker box full of snow too? No, it's just an empty shulker box. Should probably be picking up these empty shulker boxes and consolidating them. Soka says, it's interesting to learn about the backgrounds of each of the hermits. Seems like a mixture of devs and drama club kids. Well, the thing is, you know, like, back when I was starting out streaming in 2008, you had to know a little bit about computers to stream at all, right? Because you're setting up your, what is it, Adobe Media Encoder, or, no, Flash Media Live Encoder. You had to set up FMLE, to live stream, and FMLE was terrible. But But it's like why a lot of web cartoonists early on were developers, who also were artists, but like there's kind of a first mover advantage in a lot of these spaces, and a lot of times the first people capable of moving are the ones who know tech a little bit. Badger Spanner writes, dance and theater kids and HermitCraft doesn't quite work in the same sentence. Yeah, it does look like we got an accidental mob farm down there, innit? Beef joined the game! Howdy, Beef! Oh, come on. Beef left the game. Bye-bye, Beef. Bye-bye, Beefy. Joe Hill said as Beef went all away. Let's see how this looks in the distance. No worries. Hollywood, just as good. Badger Spanner says the amount of IT and sciencey people out of the American side vastly outnumbers the art kids. Malcolm Warrior says, this is my first time watching your channel, but it's really peaceful. I like it. Awesome. Thank you. Yep, we are just helping my friend Tango Tech, who has built what he's calling the Frost Castle Ravenholm here. And he did not want to work on terraforming the snow nearby. He wanted to work on building a massive 4-level dungeon underneath that we can all play minigames in. And we said, wow, Tango, that sounds really selfish of you. But I guess if you're going to spend all your time working on a game for 24 other people, some of us can come out here and, you know, be responsible adults and play some snow blocks. So I am over here putting some snow blocks down in appreciation. I actually am very excited, truly, that Tango is putting his efforts where it is going to creatively best serve everyone. And this is an excuse for me to just take a break from my project sometimes and get a little bit of just chill snow placement in. Because I've got my coffee in front of me, but I haven't drank it all yet. And it takes a little bit of time for the caffeine to hit the system, you know. It's too early for me to be doing anything vital anyway right now. So this is just something that I can do and help out before I really kick off my day full speed, you know. Like this is kind of like me stretching before I start work for the day. Badger points out Doc completely skews the view with his past professions alone. Oh yeah, definitely. just so much to do on the HermitCraft server. But yeah, I mean, we've all had a bunch of different jobs. I worked in a styrofoam factory. I worked in a library. I worked in a cafeteria serving cake. What else did I do? Before I was a developer, anyway. I did some graphic design work. That was kind of while I was a developer, because my employer didn't understand the differences between the different computer jobs. They're like, Joe, we need somebody to make, like, 6-foot wide banners that we're going to hang in the lobby of our building promoting upcoming events. And our current plan was to have the secretary do it in Microsoft Word. But we realized since you're the computer guy, you might have better ideas. And I'm like, well, graphic design is not the same thing as, like, designing database structures or programming. But I am also a hobbyist cartoonist that thousands of people read my work every week. So I do understand the basics of line, color, shape. So yeah, I guess I can also print your... I could design your 6-foot wide banners for the lobby. But, like, if I hadn't spent... Which is not to say that, like, oh, any random database guy can just go do your banners. But, like, I had spent years, like, working to become a better cartoonist and designing merch for the comic and stuff like that. So it's like, I kind of had some of the fundamentals of graphic design down, incidentally. But, like, this isn't really my job, but, like, it's not really anybody's job, and I don't think we should just, it's not that the secretary was bad at her job either, but graphic design was not her job, and telling her, hey, you're the one here who's the best at Microsoft Word, can you make these huge banners, is not setting her up for success, right? That's not fair to her. And I was just like, dang it, the dogs are getting loud out there. Hey, Shifty Pumpkins tips 15 and writes to Joe Hills, the computer guy. That gets us evenly to our next face camera expansion milestone. Here we go. Expand Joe. Do. Boy, the top of that chair is really shining, really reflecting that overhead light. Oh, it's fine. I've made peace with it. Am I wearing... Okay, I'm wearing the green hat. Okay. Yeah. A lot of dogs out there today. Scoopy says, Joe, if I wanted to support you with a token gesture like bits, what's the best way for me to do that? Oh, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. But, like, if you're not in a stage in your life where you can afford to support the arts, like, don't stress about it. Like, I enjoyed free stuff people made on the internet for, like, 15 years while I was in school and then paying off my educational debt, and I couldn't really give anything back financially at the time. The folks who were, in a different stage of their life and had, jobs and had paid off their debt, they were the ones paying for those artists to make that cool stuff that I enjoyed. And, so, the way this community works is when somebody here is tipping, they're not just tipping so that you can enjoy the show for free financially, but also so you can enjoy the show guilt-free. At some point later in life, if you find yourself in a place where you can't afford to support the arts, I hope you do, even if it's not my show. But that's the sort of thing you worry about a decade from now. Not this week, not next week, not next year. Don't stress. We are just here getting some blocks placed. Oh boy, there's creepers now. Oh, jeez. Good morning, NJ. Do 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 do. La da 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 dun 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 dun. Bonus secondary minigame. Survive Joe Hills' mob farm. I am not taking credit for this mob farm. I feel like this was a group effort. We all pitched in. Go team Hermits. Teamwork makes the nightmare work. Welcome, Tragic Solitude. Glad you could join us. I'm glad that these streams help on your stressful week and hope that next week goes a little better. We got the weekend rolling in like the tide. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know how much Mumbo and Green are going to be flying over this way, because their bases are the ones, and also, I guess, Zed and Jebs, their bases are the ones that are the most, like, directly able to see this. I was going to say, oh, this looks way better. No, that, it does look better, but, like, this last part that still isn't done is even more blatant. Now, I was like, I'm sure from some angles you won't even be able to see the missing part. Clover the Ram says, I went to a retro arcade a couple of days ago and there was a bunch of pinball machines, even some you played on your stream. Awesome, Clover the Ram. I hope you got the chance to play some pinball yourself. Okay, yeah, see, this is coming in. It's coming together now. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so we come back with some tough and maybe do some waterfalls, do some little lakes. This is going to be good. Okay, so I think that we need to figure out how this part's gonna go here. So we're gonna... That's kind of our next big thing. We need to sort this a little bit. Alright, so we got that sorted. We're getting this in here. So to some degree, I kind of want to have this just like follow, like falls nearly straight down onto there and not go out too far. What does that look like if we just start just straight up bringing this? Yeah, so like we bring it from here, like up maybe. Why is this part sticking out so far? I guess that's the question. Did somebody really want to have that kind of push out there more for some reason? I think that this part's a mistake. for the stairs access behind. Oh, okay, I see what you... Oh, yeah. You're right, there are stairs here, but, like, still, having this rounded is going to look better there. Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Campbell for 12 who says, "Thanks, buddy. I like what you do." Hey, well, thank you very much, Campbell. That's going to get us 8 away from our next face gamer expansion milestone. And Drew Baca says, "But if you do want to help, you may contribute at paypal.me/JoeHills or YouTube Super Chat." Thanks for reminding me, Drew Baca. That's going to get us 12 past our next face gamer expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand Joe. Hey. Okay, yeah. So I do think we should have something sticking out a bit here, but what I'm saying is we round the corners a little bit, and then we have it kind of fall onto that almost. Like, the way that this part is here, we obviously have to have the shell come out quite a ways. But, like, once we start getting to here, like, I feel like this is the sort of thing where we have this kind of come up like that almost. You know, like we're having... And then we just kind of follow it down. So far down. Dun, 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 dun. Extreme sledding hill. But yeah, in general, the more that we hug the natural terrain, the more Minecrafty it's gonna feel. And we'll have to possibly have some, like, other supports kind of coming up toward this, too. Okay, might need to turn that down a little bit. Sounds like some trucks are... There's always construction and brush clearing trucks and stuff around here because we've had a lot of storms lately. So, Scoopy Pigeon tips 5 and says, "Joe, do you have pets? If so, please tell them hi." Thank you very much, Scoopy Pigeon. Let's go ahead and get that 5 on the board there. That puts us 3 away from the next face gamer expansion milestone. We don't currently have any pets. I am a single parent, and I feel like I have so much responsibility already. I'm nearly at my breaking point. And so I don't feel like I could be a responsible pet owner at this point. And especially, too, because my kid goes away for 6 weeks in the summer. It's not like, oh, well, she can be the one that's responsible for the pet. Because for one thing, she's a child, and that's kind of unfair to the pet. But also, then, like, I can't travel during that 6 weeks. I mean, that's the biggest thing, too, for me. Like, when looking at, like, okay, well, what about, like, when your life calms down? It's like the cost of boarding a pet or having someone take care of it when I'm away. Like, I feel I have felt so trapped for the last few years during COVID, not being able to go to conventions and meet y'all and hang out and stuff. Like, I just I can't see myself being in a place financially where I could afford to have a pet and go to things. And because I can barely afford to go to things now, if at all. And when I say now, I mean next year. Like, this year, I'm kind of taking off from a lot of conventions because of all the immigration expenses. Anyway, so it's like, yeah, pets are expensive, and I'm already constantly feeling overwhelmed, and I don't think that I could be a responsible pet owner with where I am in my life right now. And personally, it really annoys me when people, like, they're just like, it'll be fine. I don't have to be a good pet owner. It's more important to have the pet than to do a good job. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's true. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just not at a stage in my life where it makes any. I'm not at a stage of my life where I can do it. It's kind of like I was talking about with the people with the tipping. Like, some people are at a point in their life where they can have pets and it's good, but that's just not where I'm at right now, and I've made peace with that. Curls of Doom says it's heartbreaking how many people underestimate the responsibility of having a pet. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. And, like, you know, if we had, like, a whole bunch of property and, like, the pet would have, like, room to run around, like, because that's the thing, is, like, we don't have a place for a, like, we're constantly jumping from apartment to apartment. Like, we don't, like, it's not great for dogs. And, like, I don't know. I just also know, just in terms of my own, like, psychological well-being, I should not be accumulating additional responsibilities right now. I already feel overextended, like, all the time, and it's really stressful. So, yeah. Jeffrey Sorrell says, now that coyotes are in urban areas, you could get one of those. That's true. That's true. All right, bye, Tragic Solitude. Hey, we got a tip rolling in for 10 from Mini Cheese Mouse, who says, I really appreciate you doing the morning streams. Being on the other side of the pond means I can't catch many normal streams, in quotes. Hopefully small tips like this are enough to make the morning streams viable. Well, thank you very much. I mean, they definitely help. Mini Cheese Mouse, that puts us $7 past our next Face Gamer expansion milestone. So here we go. Expand. Like, yeah, it's one of those things, like, to some degree, I'm kind of doing the morning streams. Like, I mean, the money definitely does help, because honestly, like, almost all of the stressors in my life are somehow linked to financial insecurity. And so money definitely does help and is appreciated. In terms of why I'm doing the morning streams, one of the reasons is I'm really trying to get my sleep cycle back on track. And it was too tempting when I was, when I wasn't doing the morning streams, it was too tempting to just say, like, oh, well, I'll just take a nap after I drop my kid off at school. And so I'd stay up late thinking I would be able to take a nap, and then I wouldn't actually be able to take a nap anyway, because I'd realize, oh no, I've got something came up, right? So this is basically, even when nothing comes up, I'm going to force myself to plan to have something in the morning so I can try to get myself to bed earlier. But yeah. But also, you know, it's not like I'm depriving my kid the opportunity to have a pet, because she's got pets at her mom's when she goes there for the summer. And, I also feel like it's important, too, for, like, I think it's good for there to be things that she has in one place, but not the other. Like, just because it's like, oh, mom bought a dog. Are you going to buy a dog? No, it's not a contest, you know? She didn't actually ask me that because she knew that where we live would not be a good place for a dog. But you know what I mean? Like, some kids would be like, well, I have this at the other house. It's like, yeah, that's fine. That's a good experience for you to have that I don't have to pay for. Or feel guilt about you not having. Pinner says, it's so awesome of you to help Tango with this. Great job, Joe. Well, Pinner, you know, like I've been saying, Tango is helping everybody by building Decked Out. And honestly, I need this more than he does. Like, just having a place where I can come and just kind of freeform place some blocks to clear my head at the beginning of the day, or sometimes at the end of a long day. Like, I feel like I'm helping the server. But like, you know, to a large degree, what I'm doing right now is I'm giving my coffee time to get into my system before I start doing anything important. Like, Tango created an opportunity for me here, and so I can't thank him enough. Like, because sometimes I'm like, I'm too tired to start working on anything yet, but I feel like I should be doing something. And then I'll get stuck in this, like, well, what should I be doing right now loop? But you know what? Tango just gave us an answer. You know? So I really appreciate it. Curls of Doom says, being responsible and not getting a pet when you feel like you're not in the right situation to have one is a good example to her as well. Yeah, exactly, you know. It's okay for people to be in different life situations, and for not everybody, you know, it's not like, oh, you're this age, you better have kids and a pet now, you better have bought a house. It's like, I still don't have a house. I don't know when I'm gonna get one. Possibly in a decade when my kid goes off to college. Like, you know, it's like, I mean, there's a line in It's a Wonderful Life where he talks about, like, families not being able to afford homes until their kids are already off and moved away anyway. And I'm just like, yeah, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to afford one then. I don't know. But it's fine. Badger says, I literally can't walk a dog, so that's out of the question, too. Yeah, yeah. This is, I feel like, very, very basic block placement. This does not look visually impressive. I don't like a lot of the bits about how... I don't like a lot of how this doesn't feel like it's got... it doesn't feel right in terms of... It's too... angular, linear... It's too something. It doesn't feel Cliffy enough. Hi, I'm Cliffy. Looks like you're trying to write a letter about descents. See, that now looks wrong, though, there. Yeah, see, when all of the lines are, like, parallel, that definitely does not look right. Date shows us yesterday in the title. Okay. We'll fix that. We are down to almost our last snow blocks anyway. We're down to 2.5 stacks of snow. So we'll fix the title once we're done placing the... We're going to be switching over to shoveling mode to create more snow blocks shortly. And then I can fix it. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, so let's get these 2.5 stacks placed, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so this is where it gets weird. Trying to build it up to there. Scoopy Pigeon tips another 5 and says, Joe is really HermitCraft's unsung MVP. Well, that's very kind of you to say. But I'm actually, I do actually have people sing about me. Like, for example,
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hill.
That's me!
He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
But I appreciate the sentiment. Okay. So that was the end of the snow, except for these 4 blocks. Scoopy Pigeon writes, I stand corrected. Well, thank you for being mature about that, Scoopy Pigeon. I appreciate it. Okay. So we are going to go and... we're going to move on to the second phase of the stream. we've had our coffee. I need to go review some things while we shovel as much more snow as possible here. We have a few of those left, but not enough to be worthwhile. So, the rolls of tape I found. During the craft stream, we can use to tape down our mouse. Here. Okay, so let's get this set up. We need to turn the machine on. Then we need to stand about... Swift Sneak makes it really hard to line this stuff up, but I guess I can just take Swift Sneak off. Okay, so that looks about right there. Okay. So now we're going to make sure we got that lined up, and then I'm going to put the tape down on the mouse. Hold on. I need to make more room on the desk. Okay. There we go. So, now we'll let that run. I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit because I'm further away while I'm on the laptop now. Okay, so first task. We're going to go to restream.io and update today's date in the stream title. Update titles, April 21st. Update all. Done. Okay, next task. Pay the gas bill. Da, 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 da. Sign in. Bum, 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 bum. $30? Did we use the heat last month? Maybe we did. Usually it's like $14 a month unless you actually use the heat. But yeah, there might be a little bit of a lag. Let's see, because last month was March. Yeah, there were a few nights I think it actually got cold enough. That just seems higher than it should be. Let's view the bill. Pop-up blocked. Please allow the pop-up. The average temperature during the billing period was 55 degrees. So that means there were a few days where it was freezing overnight. We had to make sure the pipes didn't freeze, I guess. But yeah, the actual usage is pretty low. It looks like just the cost for the gas itself has gone up a lot. Okay, well, that's fine. It's fine. Okay, so pay bill. Use card on file. Payment amount $30. Authorize. Okay, confirmed. Yay. Elena says, I remember you telling Asuma about that tape. It works! It works. Okay. So we've got a while until that shovel wears down. What else do I gotta do today? Let's pull up my to-do list, which I don't think I've updated for several days because I've been kind of buried. Okay. Oh yeah, Quinn needs to come by to pick up some forgotten headphones. I got an ETA on headphone pickup. No rush, just trying to figure out. You know what? I don't need an ETA. I gave a window of 8:30 to noon, but. Okay. What else do I have to do today? Email. Review. Nothing there that I care about. What about this email box? Oh, I need to schedule a tweet for something with the other hermits. Okay, so let's see what the other hermits are writing. I have a tweet set for noon mentioning the stream is 24 hours from then with the Twitch link. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah. Okay, so let's write a tweet. Twitter.com. Can you schedule tweets with the built-in Twitter? Yeah, you can now. It's not just TweetDeck anymore. Okay, schedule for 12 p.m. today, April 21st. Confirm. This time tomorrow, I'll be embarking. This time tomorrow, I'll be joining Name of Hermit 1, Name of Hermit 2, Name of Hermit 3, and America's Sweetheart Hermit 4. No, that's... there's probably something funnier I could put there. Hey, morning, Rex. I'm just gathering snow and writing tweets. And... for this time tomorrow, I'll be joining Assume Avoid, run the... Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to read the names out loud. I'll be joining Hermit 1, Hermit 2, Hermit 3, and Hermit 4 to... in an attempt to defy gravity. On a... this time tomorrow. On stream at twitch.tv/Joe Hills and YouTube. On Twitch at twitch.tv/Joe Hills and YouTube Live. Link will be generated when stream starts. When the stream begins. So we're gonna hit schedule that for noon. Okay. That will go live Friday, April 21st at noon Central. Good. Okay. Shalom says, I think I'll try defying gravity. Woo. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Tyler Huckabee, who used to write a really, or he used to be on a really good comic book podcast, that's now defunct. Tyler Huckabee just retweeted somebody who's asking earnestly, "My brothers in Christ, why are you still at secular gyms? Odds are there's a church in your area that has a reasonably well-stocked gym and a higher standard of modesty than at your local Planet Fitness." And Tyler retweeted this with secular gyms, bro. Do you even lift his name on high? Oh my god, this is like, 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 I'm thinking of, there's a part in a Frank Herbert book where someone realizes that they've kind of crossed some sort of threshold when they realize that they're thinking about uncut grass. They're like, the idea that grass would exist on the planet Dune at all, let alone be something that like people cut as part of maintaining their lawns, is so foreign to somebody who grew up on Dune before they got access to water, right? And this Frank Herbert character is just like sitting there going, uncut grass. Where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Like uncut grass. What? And I'm looking, and just this secular gyms thing is like blowing my mind that same way. Like like this is just what churches do now. Churches, if you're, I can't believe that some of you are still going to secular coffee shops when there's a good chance that a church in your area has a coffee shop. Blah, blah, blah. Like just the idea that this is what religion is now. Like religion, oh, like what? Ah, I've got to, yeah. Sorry, I'm supposed to be getting stuff done, and ostensibly I am still using a shovel here. What I should have done, now that I'm looking at it, is I should have put all the shovels on the hotbar so I don't have to lift the tape off of the thing. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over here just kind of like, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, I was like, let's just make sure there's nothing important on Twitter I'm missing. Well, we're gonna retweet this because this is obviously the best thing anyone's ever done. Tyler, I am at work right now, and you just broke my brain. just top marks best. like this is just the best tweet. Like oh my gosh. Like I'm not gonna reply to this because I don't have anything funny enough to respond with. But yeah. I'm just checking the local Nashville Twitter to make sure there's nothing going on today that's going to impact my schedule. Fire at the Tangier Outlets property. That shouldn't have impact me. sucks, but, like, it doesn't change any of my plans for today. Landlord price fixing lawsuit consolidated. That doesn't impact any of my plans today. Uh-oh, shovel's about to break. Okay. So we're gonna put the other shovels in these slots here. Okay. And then can we get the tape back down on the button? Okay. Okay. So, anyway. We got the gas bill paid. We got the payment confirmation. We got the thing that I can't announce yet. Announcement queued for noon. Anything else going on that's going to impact my weekend plans here or schedule? Okay. Nothing urgent there. Okay. What do I mean about landlord price fixing? I mean, it's a lawsuit going on in Nashville right now. You can look that up yourself. I'm just looking at my local, like the Nashville. I've got a Twitter list of like 400 people who live around town here, that I check in on to make sure that, because if there's something going on around town, one of them will probably say something about it, right? And so if somebody's like, oh, I can't believe, I just noticed that they're starting to shut down this major road because of this later on today. Like, that's how I find out about it. And then I can plan my day accordingly. So I didn't necessarily go in there looking for anything in particular, but I'm just like, let me check my Twitter list of stuff going on around Nashville to make sure that nothing going around Nashville is going to be a problem. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing crazy going on the Nashville subreddit either. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's just pull up my calendar for the day. And so we got morning stream. We're doing that right now. Lunch at 11. I'm already got everything I need for that. Oh, I do need to schedule a few things. Okay, so oh. Okay, so we got that until then. Wait, did I mistime this announcement tweet? Let me verify what time that is going to be at. Six to 9 p.m. British time. Okay, yeah, so that would be noon. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. Cool. Double check that time. So I need to update that in my calendar here, because that's actually... Did I tell Tommy the wrong time about moderating, now that I'm looking at it? Maybe? Staff chat? Extra shifts. Oh, Tommy boy. I had the time wrong. Actually starts at noon Central, which I think is 1 p.m. Eastern. Are you still free Saturday to help? If not, I'll try and find somebody else. Okay. See, this is why I have my coffee and then I review everything. Because otherwise, I would have had my moderator showing up for this special stream 2 hours late. Because I gave him the wrong time, like a professional. Okay. So hopefully they're still free. If not, I'll find somebody else. But, like, I'm finding somebody else now last minute, not tomorrow at noon last minute. Okay, so... Probably... noon to... Probably noon to 3-ish, but could go as long as 4. I'll pay you... Probably noon to 3-ish. Definitely noon to 2 p.m. But we could run over until 3-ish at the latest. Okay. Ah, dang it. Was not watching the shovel. That's why we have 4 of them. Ah. Dang it. Yep, we are gathering snow for Tango's decked out terraforming here. You know, I should probably, now that we've burned through 2 shovels, I think that the system can hold up to 4 shovels. But, okay. Tommy is definitely still in for moderating the special sponsored stream tomorrow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off right now, and we're gonna go check on the overflow situation, because I don't want this to... I don't want to... let me turn the mic back down since I'm moving closer. I don't want to find out that we filled all the chests here. How close to... So we definitely haven't filled all of them, but I don't know if we could actually use that entire last shovel. Yeah. So let's go ahead and grab what we can here. I really wish that there was a hotkey to automatically repopulate it to make more. Let's also... Let's get some... Dang it. Let's get some of these things out of our inventory or clean up a little bit so that we have more room. Like, we can put that box down there. Put that box down there. We don't need to be carrying these torches at the moment. Don't need the green screen. Yeah, for right now, let's actually just empty everything out entirely that is not snow, just so we can work faster here. Decked out is coming along, but I couldn't give you an estimate. That's more Tango's thing. I'm just helping with the terraforming. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if space refilled it the same way it does with trades, but not quite. Oh boy, okay. Honestly, just finding that one error with the, when I told Tommy to be here, makes this entire stream worth it. Like, this is, like I said, these streams are really just about, like, waking up, having my coffee, and getting stuff done. Because, like, I don't think I would have caught that mistake if I was tidying my apartment at the same time I was doing this. But the fact that I'm sitting here kind of tethered to the desktop instead of wandering around juggling multiple tasks helps me a lot. Okay, whoops, there's a snowball we just threw. Womp womp. Yeah, so once again, at noon Central tomorrow is my first ever sponsored game stream. It's going to be a collab with 4 other hermits. We're playing a game that I've played before for many years, and we're being paid, I think, a fair rate for it. This is my first time, like I said, doing a stream like that. So if you are on the fence about how it's going to go, I really want to encourage you to show up. And then I can't necessarily talk too much with you. I can't get too meta in the middle of the stream. But I will be soliciting feedback over the course of, like, the next week after that stream. Like, when I'm in the stream, I'm going to be reading the chat a little bit less than usual because there's going to be 4 other hermits there. We're all going to be talking. I'm going to have Tommy moderating, right? But, like, you know, if y'all show up and then come back, you know, the next day or at a HermitCraft stream and share your feelings and thoughts, this is not something where I'm, like, 100% committed, like, oh yeah, we're doing all these sponsored streams all the time. This is a relatively uncommon opportunity that arose where I get to hang out with my friends and play a game I like. And I don't know how it's going to go, and I don't know if it's going to be fun for y'all, and I really, really want to hear from y'all. Like I said, over the course of the next week, so if you come by tomorrow, watch the thing, and then pop in during like my Monday night stream or my Saturday night stream on HermitCraft, definitely let me know what you think. It does not have. I'm not saying like, oh, I can't wait for you to tell me how good it was. If you're like, Joe, I think you really screwed up here. You shouldn't have taken this job, and here's why. I wanna hear why, because I really don't want to say no to any opportunity to hang out with my friends. Like, anytime 5 hermits are getting together and playing a game, if I'm available, I want to do it. But the fact that this is a paid gig is also, like, really cool. And, so... But I don't want to... I don't want y'all to think that I don't value your time or your opinions. And if there's a way to do... Because I haven't done this sort of thing before, I'm sure there are ways to do this stuff right. But I don't know if I'm going to do them right. So feedback will definitely be encouraged and welcome. Not necessarily during the stream, because like I said, during the stream, I've got Tommy moderating the chat so I can focus on interacting with the other hermits. But over the course of the next week, I will definitely want to hear from y'all. Good, bad, it's valuable to hear what y'all think. So, I do hope that you show up tomorrow. Is the game family-friendly? Child-friendly for elementary schoolers? I'm going to say everybody knows your kids more, because the thing is, something that I don't think is scary in a game might be, like, an elementary school kid, who knows, right? Like, my kid for a while would get upset if we watched any sort of media where the parents were absent, because of how things went with the divorce and her mom moving out of state. And so, like, so we went to see Detective Pikachu, and I didn't know Detective Pikachu was about a kid whose dad disappeared. And she was like, Dad, I don't like stuff like this. And I'm like, well, I thought it was a movie about Pokemon, not a movie about a disappearing father. So, you know what I mean? Will it have strong language or yelling? I don't think the game has any strong language in it, and the hermits might be yelling at each other. There will be some... There will probably be a bit of trash talk, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, better than you can, like, that sort of thing. So, yeah. But, like... You know your kids better than I do, and so, if I'm not going to be offended if you jump in and you're like, this is not cool for my kid. But I don't think there's anything, like, intrinsically problematic about the game per se. But I do know, like, any game that has some weird stuff in it, sometimes weird stuff sets kids off in unique ways. And it's... So, yeah. Saturday at noon Central, correct, yeah. And the roster is going to be announced at noon today. So I've got a tweet scheduled for 2 hours from now announcing who's going to be playing. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, the hermits might definitely be competing a little bit. So if any level of competition or drama is not something your kid is okay with, then yeah, it's... But it's not like... We're not playing, like, a horror game. Or I mean, Minecraft is a horror game. We're not playing anything scarier than Minecraft, if that makes any sense. Competitive? The hermits? Surely not, writes Monete. It's more likely than you'd think. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let's move some of this stuff out of here, and then. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, then we can leave the excess shovels in there for now. We've got our thing still. Yeah, so the short version is I don't think it's scarier or more violent than HermitCraft, or I don't think it's scarier or more violent than Minecraft, but, you know, Minecraft is violent and scary to some degree. It might be slightly different visually, or more than slightly. It'll be different visually from Minecraft, but like I would say that the frighteningness level is comparable. Isaiah says, "Can I play Minecraft with you on one of your videos?" Probably not. I pretty much usually just play with the same people. I'm a little insular. Sorry. Knight to the Bedrock says, "A sponsored stream is a good thing as long as I let you be honest in your opinion about the game." Well, that's one of the things, too, is this is a game that I've already been playing for years and know I like. So, yeah, Thingamabob MC, we're going to be announcing the roster for a Hermit event tomorrow. A bunch of us are going to be playing a game on a sponsored stream on Saturday at noon. And the roster goes out tomorrow. Or no, the roster goes out in 2 hours. Knights of the Bedrocks tips 5 and says, "Keep it up." Thank you very much, Knights of the Bedrock. That puts us 2 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Praxia says, "I've joined a community with strict inclusive language. Your use of howdy is great and I appreciate it. Help me change my own idiom about how to better include my friends." Yeah, howdy is an abbreviation of how do you do. And the word you is generally fairly inclusive. So. It's one of those contractions that we've been using for so long we don't even need to have apostrophes anymore. Like, goodbye is, God be with ye. But, like, we don't apostrophize it anymore. Knights of the Bedrock says, "Can't just leave it 2 away," and tips another 2. Woo! So here we go. It's, that actually gets us 1 full abacus boom. So here we go. It's time to get these chains on. Y'all might have noticed with each expansion milestone we hit, that money went straight to my head, but now, like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the joust. Bum, 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 bum. Lowering the opacity now to 90%. At this point, each additional face camera expansion milestone will be accompanied by a corresponding drop in opacity. So, let's go ahead. It looks like my, I had set the camera to be slightly lower resolution during the rotation stream. So we're going to go ahead and have that come back up here to 4K. Because we're going to start zooming in. Great. Isaiah says, "What are you building?" Snow! We're terraforming some snow onto these hills here. Yay. Snow. We haven't figured out exactly how some parts of this are going to work, but core concept, it's going to be a snow thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring that in there, I guess. So I kind of like the idea, too, of having... that part is going to be too far out, isn't it? Yeah, we can't really incorporate that very well. Well, maybe... No, yeah, maybe we can. Maybe we can. Yeah, SUP is actually short for what's up. There's a lot of little abbreviations like that where we don't even really apostrophize them. We're just like, it's just its own thing now. Okay. I feel like we're making some progress here, which is good. Oops. Yeah, we do need to round that out some, but... Pick, Block, and Survival was a great quality of life addition. You are correct. Let's just fly out here and get a look at how this is. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is going to work. This is going to work. So we'll pull this down here, but then we'll have it come out wider here. Joe says, I have a question for the community if I could ask. What sorts of blocks would you need in a Skyblocks Create world? So, I think a Skyblocks Create world would work single player, but I don't know if... Is multiplayer Skyblock viable? Like, I'm assuming that, like, you lose a lot of the... Like, a lot of the Skyblock experience is about individually grinding, I think. I don't know... Do any of y'all do, like, multiplayer Skyblock maps? Does that work at a server scale, like for a Patreon server? Impulse and Skiz have a Skyblock series. Yeah, but that's, like, 2 people collaborating. That's not like, hey, here's a server where Knights of the Bedrock says, I do a weekly Skyblock game with a friend. I found it a lot of fun. Well, but what I'm talking about is, like, if you just have a server that, like, 200 people have access to, does multiplayer Skyblock work it? Sherlockian says the ones I've been on have staff, like, running it. Badger says multiplayer Skyblock is amazing. Lakshmi13 says Caliphant plays multiplayer Skyblock and it works. Okay. Okay, I just never heard of people doing multiplayer Skyblock in a server setting like that, so... Praxius says you need the ability to claim chunks to make it work. Really? I mean... Okay. Walker says, we tried a big server skyblock with some friends, and it was way too difficult early on with how small the platform was. Psycraft says, or Kindle says, Psycraft had a skyblock server that was very successful. Badger says it's very chaotic at first, which makes it so much fun. It forces you to work together. Okay. Trimbark Tree says, in my experience, skyblock servers give each individual player their own skyblock world, and then you teleport between them. Was that what you were thinking? Toxic? What were you thinking here? Because I have no idea really how you were imagining this. I'm not trying to shut it down. I'm very curious to see how it would work, but the reason I'm curious to see how it would work is because I don't really have it in my head. Walker says, I never considered everyone getting their own island. I guess that would work better. That was kind of what I was thinking, is like, does everybody get their own island, or is it one big group island? Like, Toxic says, the vision I had was for everyone to have a starting world that they own, and then each player joins a larger starting island to work together. Yeah, I like that. That sounds like a cool idea. Okay. Because, yeah, I was thinking, like, the problem is, like, if it was one big starting island, then let's say that you were busy the day that the game started. Like, if is it still fun to come into a skyblock world after people played on it for 12 hours, right? Like, is it something that people could join midway? The Life of L says, I saw a skyblock that had modded, so people were on different skyblocks that had different resources, and everyone worked together to get resources so they could eventually join up. That's cool. Praxis says it's nice if you can choose starting island locations and then build out to friends. It's usually over 1,000 blocks between the islands, though. Kindlelist recommends 250 blocks for the island distance, so it's a spider web of interconnectivity. So, in terms of a create mod skyblock series, though, doesn't the create mod, like, need a lot of resources to build the, to build machines, though? Like, it feels like, are the create mod elements going to be, like, gated too far back in the tech tree? Or... I guess it depends on how you set it up, but I guess that's kind of what Sorry, I'm just trying to think through this since you asked. I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm just, like, what are the challenges? Toxic writes, the key question is, with the block limitation of Skyblock, what needs to be made more renewable for a create mod to work? Toxic's also saying, in mine, each person would have their own dimension, not necessarily be able to bridge across. Okay, that's cool. And, okay, I'm tagged in a message here. XB wants to get another 2v2 game going. That, I think, is during my Earth Day build contest, though, so I'm gonna miss that one. Okay. Okay, so this is coming together-ish. I guess to some degree there's some question, should the stairs here then continue down? Should I design this in such a way that you could have the stairs continue switchbacking down all the way to like a dock or something out there? Mr. Lance says andesite is the basis for a lot of create mod things. What do you need to make andesite? Is it stone and gravel? Minecraft andesite recipe. 1 diorite and 1 cobblestone to make andesite. So if diorite and cobblestone are renewable, then you can get andesite. Cobble plus quartz can make diorite. So if cobble's renewable, which it is with a lava bucket and water, that seems like a basic level skyblock thing. And then quartz is not renewable, but you can barter it from piglins if you get to... Welcome, 0D Karma. Thank you for the raid. Lakshmi13 says, in Tango's Create mod world, some of the creativity was from interactions between players' builds. Would that be possible if you need to portal? I think at that point, one person's dimension would have to be like the workshop that's hosting whatever you're trying to build collaboratively to make that work. Toxic says also the main island would be available for anyone to build on. Okay. So there would be a main island. You wouldn't start necessarily on your own island. Gold is renewable through gold farms. Okay. What do I think of the 2v2 TCG game? I really liked it. I am looking forward to playing it myself, but yeah, it looks like from a scheduling standpoint, the next round is going to be when I'm busy. So there's that. Yeah, I refereed for that game, and I think it has a lot of potential. Hollow Bro says, I think Impulse has a Patreon Skyblock server. Interesting. And Jevin might run one too. Okay. So other hermits. So Toxic, you might be able to ask in the admin area chat. Because like we've got a admin area chat for multiple server mods to talk to each other. Maybe ask there what's worked and not worked. Obviously, we don't want to do exactly what they did. In fact, like doing something differently from what they did is my preference. But if we know, hey, this didn't work because this, we routed around it this way. It's like, okay, well, cool, we'll route around it the toxic glitter way. But it's good to know that the thing is a concern, you know? Like, what did they run into? It's good to know. I think I'm gonna get some ice and fill in that low area there as a lake. Packed ice. Okay. can replace some of this with the other ice later. Oops. Dang it. Okay, yeah, we can actually have that come down all the way to there-ish. I think that'll work. Oh boy. Yeah, feeling good about this. Hey, hope you did okay on your accounting test. Welcome back. Praxis says it's like a skill shot for sleeping. I try. These ferns are causing me troubles. Sorry about that, Craig. Yeah, job hunting is never fun. Like, it's just one of those numbers games things where you just gotta keep at it. And, I mean, I got this one job that was particularly good, and all of these other people that I worked with were like, how did you find this? And I was like, well, so I have this recruiter that sent me on like a whole bunch of calls with companies where they needed to hire a programmer who did not do any of the things I did. And were completely mismatched for my talents, and it was a nonstop nightmare. And then one day the guy calls me up and is just like, oh, hey, here's this other thing. I don't know if it's good for you or whatever, but, you know, you go for this interview. And I'm like, this is, like, literally exactly what I have been looking for 2 years. And I was hired right away because I was a great fit. But, like, literally, people are like, how did you find this place? How did you know they were hiring? How did you land this? I'm like, I literally just did exactly what I had been doing for 1.5 years. I kept showing up for interviews this guy was sending me to. And, like, but the thing is, though, it wasn't like, oh, there were some okay interviews. There were 99% of the things the guy sent me to were just complete garbage. A total waste of my time, where I'm, like, using a vacation day to, like, not be at work for this interview that everybody is angry at the end of. And, like, but yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. You just got to stick with it. So, good luck, and, yeah, hopefully, you know, it's one of those things, even if it's not the next one, hopefully it's relatively soon. But yeah. But, like, I almost fired that recruiter so many times. I was so mad at every interview. I'm like, this was not... And they're just, like, you know, looking at my resume and talking to me. And they're like, why are you even here? And it's like, well, the recruiter told me you were looking for these skills that I do have. And they're like, well, that's not what we told him. And I'm like... I don't know what you want from me. Like, and they're like, well, so you have no experience with this other thing that's completely unrelated to what you do. And I'm like, correct. You know, it's like... Anyway, so if anybody wants to help me avoid ever having to do that again, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are hanging out here on the HermitCraft server at the moment, placing some blocks around Decked Out. So we're trying to figure out how to reconcile having that jut out to here-ish. On this piece here. So I kind of think... that we start just having this come in shallower and shallower, maybe? And so then this creates kind of a natural... Yeah. Oh, that'll actually look really good if that flows back around and curves up into here some. Yeah. Okay, we're going to make this work. This is going to be great. Maybe do another ice waterfall to replace the real one. I think you're right. I like the idea of having an ice lake kind of higher up. Or, like, maybe not higher up. But, like, I like the idea of having this be an ice lake here. And I like the idea of having a waterfall that kind of shows where the original was. Because then it's also neat, too, if you did, like, a before and after where you took the original seed and, it's like, oh, there was water there, and now there's a frozen waterfall. That looks like magic, you know? So mimicking the original terrain and makes before and after shots look better. It's going well, Harrier Hawk. Thanks for asking. Okay. What am I making? I'm making a frozen pond right now. So my friend Tango Tech has been building this incredible structure called Cold Weather Shard. And so he's building a dungeon and stuff inside of it. And so he wanted people to help him with terraforming the outside so he could focus on building the dungeon minigame. So I've been putting in a lot of this snow here and trying to figure out how this is all going to flow, basically. So that's what I'm up to. But yeah, having this kind of naturally follow the curve of the land here is going to pay dividends for us in terms of ease of the build. Laura says, what's up with the mossy cobble? That's part of the original biome. I'm probably gonna cover that up, but I haven't quite decided if I want to just, yeah. I like keeping evidence of the original biome in place rather than just replacing it. But it's kind of one of those things like, should I just use normal, like, flat snow pieces, or should I cover it with snow blocks like this? It's hard to say. I don't know. Oops. That's a silk touch shovel. I should make a note of that, because we're not supposed to have silk touch shovels in the snow machine. Let's go use a bed real quick. Harrier Hawk says, I haven't been able to watch your streams lately. I missed the Friday night raids. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, I guess I don't need to apologize. That's your schedule. But yeah, well, glad you could be here today. That's nice. Excited about that. Okay, we're just getting some stuff in here. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Do 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 la 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 bum ba dum da 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 bum ba. Perfect landing. I know, right? I'm the best. Michael Bescasoma says, how many more streams do you expect it'll take to finish the snow placing? Honestly, I'm not worried about it. We're, there's no real, like, deadline for this. The front of the build, it has the snow in place. We're kind of working around the edges now. And, you know, it'll get done when it gets done, you know. This is just something I come help Tango out with when I need a break, too. You know, this is not something I'm really stressing out on as a project. So I'm not like I'm not like coming into this with an estimated target or anything. We're just, yeah, we're definitely gonna remove those two stone there and put a thing in. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oops. I'm doing well this Friday, Aries. Thank you for joining us. In terms of how much is left, the other thing is, right now, we're kind of just setting up a rough palette to do proper, like, detailed terraforming. Right now, we're just trying to get the snow in and figure out the rough shape of the shell, right? So we got this big shell here. We're trying to figure out what it looks like. And then after we figure out what it looks like, so over around the front here, you'll see there's, like, actual, like, stone and icy waterfalls and stuff, right? So the idea is to take the level of terraforming we've got kind of over here and do a detail pass on the... oh, we should probably fix that. So we're going to do a detail pass on what we're working on later. Did I finish the pinball machine? Nope, not yet. This is taking a break from the pinball machine to work on my friend's project here. Okay, so, but in terms of, like, how much is actually left that doesn't even have a shell, this whole backside here, this is where we're at. So... probably don't want to do that, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Okay. Then we kind of have that there. Then we kind of bring this down. Yeah. This is going to have a good flow to it when we're, like, soon. It doesn't yet, but we're still working on it. Oh, hi, doggies. Okay. Yep, the plan is still to do the pinball machine as an electric course. We just have a lot more to do in general here. Oh, yeah, I was on the fence about this, but now I'm seeing it. It's really coming together here. The way we're cutting this in is going to work. Okay. 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 Hello, baby zombie. Okay, so don't let your babies grow up to be zombies. Da, 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 da. Okay. Wow, we are almost out of snow again. After quite a bit of time spent making more. That is a little disappointing, because it's always more fun placing blocks than making blocks. Okay, so then we kind of keep carrying this through around here, I think, too. Oops. I know I'm not being particularly frugal with my use of the snow blocks here, but I think in the long term, it's more important to just kind of get things down and then sort out the optimal stuff later. Let's have that pop out a little bit more here. Okay. Okay, so if we fly away real quick. Fly, fly away, oh Joe, fly, fly away. Oh yeah, this is definitely better than it was, like, by a lot. Okay, fantastic. So we can go to bed now. Spiders on the ice. I didn't know that spiders could spawn on the ice. That's nice. Dang it, I missed my jump. Or landing. Okay. So let's go ahead and let all those mobs despawn real quick. I feel like there's a lot of mobs here, but I'm the only one on the server, so I'm hitting the mob cap solo. Yep. Let's see what's going on here. There's like a cutout. Maybe Tango's planning on putting something in here? That looks, broadly speaking, intentional. So I don't know. Okay. 16 rockets left. No more snow. How late is it? Oh, it's almost lunchtime. Okay. I think that we are going to be heading out for now then. This is good progress. Good progress, though. Let's go ahead and see who is out there streaming. It looks like Ollie, the Orion Sound, is doing training for 1200. So why don't we go ahead and raid Ollie /raid twitch.tv/the Orion Sound. When you get over there, our raid message is howdy y'all, Joe Hill's right here. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. It's been fun this morning. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do, stop streaming.